Good morning, everybody, and I hope you are having a great time and you've learned a little bit so far already this morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brittany Wright, and I'm excited to share my story with you about coaching and just the journey that it's brought me the last 4 years. So I'm going to start a little bit in the background before coaching. And, way back like high school, very athletic, always did sports, always did. I was in swimming, volleyball, softball, the whole 9 yards. And then come junior year of high school, I decided to just quit it all. And I stopped doing any sort of physical activity. I stopped sports, and I never picked up like exercise, so to speak. So I ended up hanging out with not such a great crowd and was, drinking and kind of partying and living that life. And from the time that I stopped my sports and started that lifestyle, I ended up gaining about 20 to 25 pounds, which is a lot, especially when you're 17, 18 years old, and I'm 5'6". So it was a big difference in my body. And so I did that for about a year and a half, and then I thought that I would go the other extreme and I wouldn't eat. So I ended up developing they called it a non-specified eating disorder, because there were certain criteria you have to meet to be anorexic, and I wasn't quite that bad. So they diagnosed me with that. I ended up seeing a nutrition counselor. I ended up seeing a counselor and talking about my body image issues and how things kind of came to be, and why I believed the things that I believed about myself, how I viewed myself when I looked in the mirror. And that really helped me connect with not just the physicalness of health, but also to see how food was fuel, and to see a plate of chips and cheese and to be able to look at that and see how that was going to fuel my body and not hurt my body. So I went through that journey, and I just really, really struggled with finding a balance of eating enough, eating the right foods, working out. So I would finally get the nutrition down, and then I would go run for an hour and a half. So it was like I was eating, but then I was counteracting it and over-exercising. So I never really got over, that body image issue, and I was trying to be perfect and skinnier and fitter. But it wasn't for health reasons, it was for vanity. It was trying to find my self-worth in that. And when I continued to chase it, and I couldn't find it, and I never felt fulfilled. I ended up meeting my husband in February of 2006. And we dated for a little while, and I was going through this whole thing. I was going through this whole eating disorder and food and nutrition. And one day I had a really bad night. I went over to his house, and he shared with me, and we prayed. And then a couple days later, he shared with me, he's like, I can't do this. Like, I can't be in a relationship with somebody who can't go and enjoy a cheeseburger or box or a thing of popcorn at the movies. And that really resonated with me, because now it wasn't just affecting me, it was now affecting my relationship, and it was affecting our future. And at 3 months, there was a huge future ahead. So that was very eye-opening. So that's when I really started to dive into the nutrition and the counseling and kind of figure out what was going on. And I would love to say that I got 100% better, but I didn't. That was just one of those moments that woke me up, and that kind of was a light bulb moment in my life. So we ended up dating, we got married, and we moved down to Florida and got pregnant with twins. Before that, let me backtrack. I have my degree in health and fitness education, instruction, and that was because of my past. I ended up joining the gym and learning how to exercise with weights. I was learning that I didn't have to go run and do an hour and a half of cardio. I could come in for 40 minutes and do an awesome weight circuit training, and I fell in love with my trainer. She was so amazing, so uplifting, so helpful. I loved how she made me feel strong. And so that's what prompted this inner something inside of me to pay that forward. And so back when I was 19, 20 years old, that's what I was going to school for, and my reason was because I just felt so empowered going to the gym and learning how to lift weights and eat right, instead of looking at myself and nitpicking and all that and running and not eating enough. So I graduated with my bachelor's degree in exercise science, health and fitness instruction. I got a job as a personal trainer at a local gym live in Traverse City, Michigan. I worked there for 2 years, and my husband and I were married during that time. And then in 2011, we moved down to Florida. And we moved down for his job. We were here for about 3 or 4 months, and then I got a corporate job and health and fitness, and I did that, and I loved it. I ended up gaining 10 pounds back because I went out a desk job, and so I could start to see my body kind of shift. I went from working 32 hours on my feet, eating right, working out as long as I wanted, to working 40 hours a week, training on the side, having a more strict schedule, and I could see my body start to change. Then I got pregnant with the twins, and I got pregnant with them in March of 2012, and I ended up gaining, that's a whole nother video story, but I ended up gaining about 80 pounds with the twins. We delivered in November 2012. They were 5 weeks early. I had a healthy pregnancy. I was not active. I ate a ton. I reached out to a nutritionist for moms who were pregnant with multiples because I knew that journey was going to be really hard for me. I knew seeing the scale consistently go up, seeing my muscle tone go away, seeing my cheeks kind of plump up, seeing everything else, including my belly stretch out. I knew that was going to be really tough for me mentally. So I reached out and got the help that I needed to during that time. I still gained 80 pounds. I really didn't care. I just really wanted healthy babies. I got them. Brooklyn and Grayson were born. They were born premature, but they were healthy. They were feeders and growers. They were in the NICU for 16 days, and they were great. And so I decided at that time, my husband and I decided at that time that I would be a stay-at-home mom. So I quit my job. I never went back after maternity leave, and in about 3 months postpartum is when I finally started doing anything to work on my weight loss with them, which is totally fine. I encourage you to wait until you are ready. I started Insanity because I had done that the previous summer and saw amazing results. Like, I hated my legs my whole entire life, and after 60 days of Insanity, I remember my mom coming down to see me in Florida, and she was like, "Man, your legs." I'm like, "I know, they're awesome." And so I was like, all right, I'm doing that program because I know it works. So I started doing this program, and I started posting on Facebook about it, and just all of our family and friends were up north. So I was just using Facebook as my social outlet because I knew nobody down here, okay? So I started posting my journey, my weight loss, my transformation, and just naturally doing it. And I had a few people reach out to me about what I was doing and where they can get the program and all this stuff. And I was like, man, 2 years ago, a Meg girl reached out to me and asked me if I ever thought about Beachbody coaching, and I thought she was crazy. I said, absolutely not. I am not a salesperson. I am not doing this at all. Like, no, thank you. I ended up ignoring her messages for a few times. She would reach out to me, and I would be like, no, thank you. But I followed her on social media for that whole entire 2 years. God knew what he was doing, because he never took her social media out of my feed. And so I would see her helping these people, going on these trips, earning this income, doing what I was already doing with a Beachbody program. And so I reached out to Meg after 30 days of doing Insanity, and I said, hey, I know this is really random. I've been watching your journey. I just had my twins. I've been doing Insanity, and people are asking what I'm doing, and I think you mentioned that I could be a coach and help people through this program. And she said, yeah, absolutely. So she sent me a webinar. It's about 35 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. This is perfect. This fills so many gaps in my life right now. This gives me accountability. This gives me community as a new mom. I have no friends down here. It gave me an avenue to make some income. And best of all, it was the field that I had originally gone into, and it was health and fitness. Now, that doesn't have to be true for everybody. Not everybody has a health and fitness degree. This is just something that God laid on my heart years and years prior. And I think now that I see it all come into fruition, it's kind of cool. So I signed up that day. I didn't really hesitate. I asked a few friends what they thought. My husband was 100% on board. I signed up in March of 2013, and I have not looked back. I'm going to cry. Coaching has done so incredibly much for me that I didn't even expect to happen. I expected to make, my goal was to make $400 a month to cover my husband's Shakeology, my Shakeology, and a babysitter and a date night 1 or 2 nights a week. Because we had no family, and here we were with these 2 babies. So I was like, well, let's have some income. And that was my goal. I never expected to, these are the 3 things that I want to tell you that Beachbody has done for me. I'm gonna cry, but Beachbody has given me a confidence in myself that I never knew that I had, that I never knew I could have. This is my best description of it. Before Beachbody, I had 0 self-confidence. I nitpicked at myself. I didn't believe that I could accomplish anything in my life. Not that being a stay-at-home mom is bad. It's an amazing, amazing job. But I knew that I now know that I have more to give, and that by me sharing my story, I can help other stay-at-home moms be their best versions of themselves. And so I went from this person who had no confidence, no belief, no dreams, no aspirations in life, to this woman who is so confident in who she is and what God has planned for me and who I am in Him. And that all came because of coaching. And it's really crazy cool, because the behaviors that we have to do as a coach are take care of yourself physically, take care of yourself with your nutrition, make sure you're reading personal development or doing devotions or reading a quick quote every day or putting positivity into your newsfeed every day. Make sure you're doing those 3 things. And at the core foundation of what being a coach is those 3 things, is work on you physically, work on you mentally, and make sure you're eating right. You are going to see success in yourself. And then the 4th vital behavior is to share that with others. Is to share the growth, the change, the experience that you have with other people. It's like, duh, I get to work on being my best self, and then I get to encourage other people to do it and watch them do it. And I couldn't have done that without Beachbody. I could not be this confident. And it took me 4 years. It took me a long time to get here, but I'm here, and I'm confident in who I am, and I look in the mirror, and I love who I am inside and out. Okay, so it's giving me this confidence that I never knew I had. Number 2, it's given me opportunity with my family. My husband has a great job, fantastic job. He's obviously blessed me enough that I can stay home and raise my kids and do my passion. It's really a gift. But what I've been able to do with Beachbody is my kids each have a savings account that we don't have to pull from my husband's expenses. We go on family vacations to Disney once a month, and we don't have to pull from his income. I get to use this money. I get to choose what school I get to send my kids to for preschool, because I have this money from Beachbody, because I'm sharing what's working for me, because I'm choosing to share my journey and encourage other people to do it. Okay, so it's given us financial freedom within our family to go do things, to go buy new clothes if we need to take weekends away, to go back home and visit Michigan 1 or 2 times a year. And we don't have to stress about the income of it, because we can live off my husband's, and we have my income to play with a little bit and invest. All right, so it's given us financial freedom within our family. We've paid off student loan debts. I've paid off our car. We have 1 more car payment. We had to upgrade when we got Hayden. But it's given us some financial freedom with that. All right. And then the last thing, and I know this is going to be super weird, so bear with me. But I told you about the God-grounded confidence that I have, right? And in 2015, I went through this year of spiritual growth. I started doing this book called Miracle Morning, and that required me to get up about an hour and a half early before my family did, which I loved. And it really required me to sit down and focus on what I have for my life and what God wanted for my life. And in 2015, God got it on my heart that I was going to have more kids. And I was like, no, that is not part of my plan. Not part of my plan. I did not want more kids. I was happy with our family of 4. I had so many dreams and aspirations I had for my business. And every reason that I didn't want more kids was completely selfish. And during this time, during this book that I was doing to grow my business, that was my pure motivation to do it, God took that opportunity to grow my heart and to grow my family. Because it was through that year that He really spoke deeply in many ways that I was supposed to have more kids. And now I have an 8-month-old little girl who is the light of my life. She is amazing. I love seeing her brother and sister with her. She has, she's just ever. She's awesome. And I can't imagine our family without her. And I don't want to know what would have happened had I never said, yes, I'm going to go for this dream and I'm going to do Miracle Morning because I know it's going to get me my business dream, and I didn't know it was going to get me hated. And so the reason I tell you that is because there's a lot of times in this coaching journey that it's not just about your physical appearance. It is not just about how fit you can get, how many followers you get on social media. It's how are you going to change your world? How can you change your life? Whether you are in believe faith, Jesus, or not, there's going to be change in your life by bringing up the negative world and bringing in a positive light and a positive world. You're going to see change. You're going to want change. You're going to be around people who lift you up instead of bringing you down. And it's really hard to stay complacent, and it's really hard to stay in a place of negativity and self-doubt when you are surrounded in an environment that is constantly lifting you up. You have to make those choices, absolutely, but you're going to have more of a support system than you would if you didn't have coaching. And so I tell you that because coaching can give you a life, it can give you gifts, it can give you things, it can provide relationships and friendships and opportunities that you never even knew you had in you if you work on yourself. And with coaching, that's exactly what we do. We work on ourselves, we work on our best self, and then we share what we've learned, we share what works for us, we encourage others to step out of their comfort zone, we encourage others to dream a little bit bigger, we encourage others to frickin' believe in yourself and to believe that you are made for more and that you can accomplish that. So that's been my coaching journey. And I can tell you all the accolades, I can tell you I've been elite and I've been in the top 100 of the company and, you know, I'm doing these great things, but when it comes down to it, that's not going to keep you, right? What I want you to learn from my story is that I went from a girl who had zero dreams, zero aspirations, and zero belief in herself to this girl that has the whole world at her fingertips. And I have so much opportunity outside these four walls and within these four walls. That's made me a better mom, it's made me a better wife, it's made me a better person, and I know that I'm doing what I've been called to do. And there's a lot of confidence in knowing that I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So thank you for listening. I hope this encouraged you. I hope this inspired you. I hope this left you feel good feelings for the rest of the day. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you guys in a little while.